where a year ago, Daniel Jones coming off an ACL injury. A lot of questions going around the Giants. Didn't keep Saquon Barkley. He made a trip down I-95 to sign with the Eagles, and I guess he had an okay season down there. But Daniel Jones, he didn't really live up to the expectations. They end up releasing him. They go through the quarterback gridlock of Tommy Cutlets. Man, I don't even know. Tim Boyle, I think, was also there for a hot second. Drew Lock, too. A whole lot of ups and downs there for the Giants last season. And maybe they could turn the tides with a new quarterback room that they've acquired and perfected. And I don't know. Maybe no more of this garbage. I'm so tired of this shit. So tired of it. So let's go into the offense. So the offense here, a whole revamped quarterback room. They go from, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy Cutlets. I think Tim Boyle was honestly there. I might be dreaming or something, but they go to Russell Wilson, who had success with the Steelers last year. Jameis Winston, who put up a hell of a game Monday night against the Broncos when he was on the Browns. And they draft Jackson Dart, who quarterback of the future. We will figure that out. We are going to see how that goes. But for the offense in general, a whole lot of it's the same. They add Cam Scatterbo at running back. They do draft Marcus Bowes in the 5th round. And they also bring in James Hudson on the offensive front. So a lot is the same here for the Giants, except the quarterback room, where they've already come out and they've already said Russell Wilson is going to be our week 1 starter. Obviously, it's a quarterback battle, but right now, Russell Wilson's our starter. Gentlemen, how are we feeling about this revamped Giants team that's trying to return to the playoffs for the first time since 2022?
Are we considering this revamped?
Well, if quarterback room, I mean, anything's better than Daniel Jones. So I say yes, it's a revamped offense.
I mean, all right, listen, Russell
anything
Wilson
from
played,
a 1 touchdown and 11 interception college quarterback and Tim Boyle is better than anything that they've had. So I consider this really revamped.
Russell Wilson played well last year. I don't think we can really discount that.
The Russ of old. It looked like the Russ of old in some parts. He put up some pretty good games, and then obviously the 9-win hit for the Steelers, 10-win hit for the Steelers, and everyone just crashes down to earth. Whatever's going on over there.
This is actually very alike a team we talked about last week, which I can't remember. Oh, is it okay? Is it the Jets? Yeah, I think it was the Jets. Where this is, same stadium, same place. What else is new?
Same.
If you're colorblind, yeah. They're both gray, so it's okay.
Where this is like clearly set up as a bridge year thing into a hopefully future thing. I said this about the Jets. They've had a successful running game set up with the same group. I can say that with the Giants as well. I liked Tyrone Tracy a lot last year. I think if they could, just like I said about the Jets, if they could establish a kind of locked in running game with this group and then figure out what the hell you're going to do at passer and if it will even work for the future, cool, I guess. I mean, it's really essentially the same conversation I think I had about the Jets. We're just talking about some different personnel and
except they signed 2 quarterbacks and then drafted one.
Yeah. So, but these are 2 quarterbacks that are a little bit over the hill, that are temporary solutions to a permanent problem. And you're hoping the permanent solution is the 3rd guy on this chart to the permanent problem. And I don't know.
So why do you bring in, if you think you're going to draft a quarterback, which I guess they weren't really set because they traded up later to get him.
Yeah.
But what is the point of Russell Wilson starting games if you have Jackson Dart waiting there? Like, it's not
to rush him, I would say. I mean, look at some of the other quarterbacks. They kind of throw him out to the wolves, and they kind of just say good luck, little wave.
Give him a guy that he can actually have a camp battle with, not a guy who has won a Super Bowl, had a decent season last year, that's made a bunch of money.
I think it's also too you have to have your job. You have to protect your job. So having Russell Wilson who can win games, maybe protect you, Schoen and Dable for at least another year, preserve it for another year.
Joe Shane bought himself time with Dart. just drafting him. Period. That's the only reason.
Well, the Bears buy the Bears. You know, they buy time with drafting quarterbacks, and you get fired not even before the end of their rookie season. Like,
it's the Bears.
I mean, like that's potato here.
Like, they're going to take a quarterback regardless, so that he can say, "Well, listen, look, we got to give the kid time. You can't fire me yet. Look,
how many planes can fly overhead during warm-ups for you to make it through the season? You know, it's like,
well, how many high knees can you go through with Russell Wilson and talking about a spicy sandwich? It's spicy.
You know, there's not going to be many plane rides. You got a couple bus trips in there. You know, might not be able to do the same.
Would they take a train or a bus down to DC, or would they fly just so it's
bus?
That would be a bus.
That's definitely a bus. Definitely a bus.
Eagles definitely bus. I mean, they probably take a train to Dallas. Who knows? But also one thing to point out too, Evan Neal listed as guard, so that's also one other thing we got to look out for here.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm just saying he's not obviously the starter. Greg Van Roten, who came in last year from the Raiders, so yeah, a big puzzle piece there for the former 5th overall pick or 7th overall pick, 5th, 7th, something like that in the 22 draft. I don't know. Very high draft pick and no expectations living up for him.
Yeah, I don't know. There is there's a factor of bridge year setting up for a future thing, and it looks possible maybe, but there is the factor of these dudes had this offseason to save their job for at least just another year. So there's definitely some overlapping of the two things, for sure.
Let's shift over to the defense. And the defense really improved a lot last year. So drafting Abdul Carter, number 3 overall, you bring in the best free agent safety on the market, Javon Holland. You bring in a corner who I think was one of the more highly underrated corners on the market, a Paulson Adebo from the Saints. Already matching up with a pretty stacked front 7. Now the secondary has a little more consistency going on with at least someone to be on the complimentary side of Dante Banks, where Adoree Jackson, he left. He went down to the Eagles. That's really all I got for this team. But really, I think this is a really good defense. It's going to finish probably second in the division. It's not going to finish first. Obviously, that's going to be a team we're going to talk about in a little bit. But this defense, I think, can be a home record, a game record. They could do a lot of damage here on this defense, especially if you have the veteran presence of a Russell Wilson under center.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will be an above average defense again. I think the tools are there. Sure. You need to put points on the board, and that's been their biggest issue over the last few seasons, for sure. It's been a competent defense for years, I think, honestly.
The defense hasn't been the problem.
No,
it's been the guy under center and maybe having a 1.5 receivers.
Yeah. So I think, like you said, this will, be a pretty good defense. It's going to be.
I think it could have the ability to finish top 10. I really think it could.
Probably could.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I really like the moves there with Holland and Adebo. And also you add a couple of upfront presence too, in Robertson, Harrison, Ledbetter, Chauncey Golston. You got a lot of good pieces here. But then it's like the Browns, how we talked about. Like the Browns defense is good, but it's okay. What will the offense do to prevent the defense from being on the field for 35, 40 minutes a game?
Who's their coordinator?
I was thinking that too. Because it's not, what's his name? It's not
it's not Wink Martindale. He left, so
good.
Let's see. Quick Google search. The Giants defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen.
Oh, that's right. He was a whole big deal in the Hard Knocks. From he was Vrabel's DC.
Okay. That's not terrible.
He was DC of the Titans from 21 to 23. So
yeah, I mean, you know what? I actually really don't mind that, because the Titans, this is a more talented, better fit roster than what the Titans had, and the Titans weren't terrible as far as that's concerned. So yeah, cool. I like you said, this will be competitive. I don't
Steve
think
with the 100 coins. He gave us a heart. Steve returns. Steve Merp. Oh man, he's a very good guy in the fantasy shows. He really is. So Steve, I appreciate you tenfold. Thank you for the hand heart.
Yeah.
Let's go to the schedule here.
I can't wait for those fantasy shows to start again,
I enjoyed those a lot.
or even the fantasy segments in general.
Yeah,
They're fun.
they were fun. Change of pace.
So for the defensive side, yeah, you got to do a lot of oh, he's just sending us everything there. Let him cook. He's sending us everything. Steve, I'm blushing. Please.
He said it's
I
almost
can't-
that time of the year.
It's almost that time of the year. We're gonna be cooking this year. Don't you worry. We're gonna have several of some fantasy shows going on. But the schedule here, very big weeks ahead of them. Week 1, obviously, I go to DC, and then you got to go to Dallas, and then you got to return to.
Jeez.
Okay, here I got to get back out here. How do the Giants get 3 wins and they just get Sunday Night Football just handed to them every single time? Meanwhile, the Jets, I have to wait like 12, 13 years between Sunday Night Football games just to sniff a primetime game.
Well, this is clearly
This is the epitome of bullshit. This is such bullshit.
This is the showcase. This is the showcase.
They can't even flex them out week 3. Okay, what happened the last time the Giants were in Sunday Night Football? The Cowboys blew them out 40-0. Like that was just like the worst showing on Sunday Night Football I've ever seen.
Well, didn't the Jets just have like 1,000 primetime games the last 2 years because of Rodgers that he didn't play in?
Yeah, they got flexed out of like the last one though last year, so they got flexed out of 1.
It's all right. The Eagles got flexed out of at least 2 games last year, and they won the Super Bowl.
But yeah, big matchups though. NFC East, Cowboys and Commanders. Then you got to play the AFC West, and then you got to go to the Saints. Then you go to the Eagles, and you're doing this and you're doing that. The Broncos. This is a very unrelenting schedule.
Yeah.
I really like. I've been thinking this since I saw the schedules when they came out. There is a good chance that Dart is playing before one of those Eagles games.
There's a good chance he plays. Yeah, easily. I agree.
I thought it was gonna be the first one at home, but then there's the whole Broncos Russell Wilson thing that I forgot about. Because they might actually be like 0-5 before that Eagles game.
I think they could. I mean, if anyone thing, I mean, they played the Commanders really good last year. They gave it all the way to the end with them in those games. I'm not saying they can flip a game, but they're going to be giving it their all. Chiefs, I'm going to already chalk up an L. Chargers an L. Saints, I think they could pull off a W.
Yeah,
it's in New Orleans though.
It's in New Orleans. I mean, like, how loud are they really going to be over Tyler Shaw and is Ian Book even? I don't even know who their quarterbacks
They're just
are.
played over the speakers anyway.
Spencer Rattler.
I
find it really hard to see him improve from 3-14. Maybe they could get 4 or 5 wins, but I think it all depends on what's going to go on under center. Who's going to keep you in games? Is it going to be the offense or is it going to be the defense? And then which side's going to, counteract that other part?
Unless they win the Saints game, it's probably going to be less.
I see like 5 wins as a hopeful season. I forgot that the NFC East this year has like has the hardest schedules in the league.
Technically, the Giants have the hardest because they don't. Like the Eagles are second because we get to play the Giants.
Yeah, I really think it shows. It shows. This is going to be a grueling.
This is not a good schedule.
No, this is a grueling season for the Giants.
To be fair, the NFC East usually has the hardest schedule just because of how the winning percentages between the teams usually are.
Yeah. This is rough.
Let's move on. I'm kind of over the Giants.
Do we want to say what?
Oh, yeah. The season's successful for the New York Giants.
Honestly, it's a failure if Dart doesn't play games.
If Dart can win 3 games, I'd be pretty psyched. Out of the 5,
what's the point of the year if the guy you drafted to be the future quarterback doesn't play games?